All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So, I want to thank you all for joining me this afternoon for a special edition of Tyra's Just Saying with my girl, Dr. Holly. Oh my gosh. Let me tell y'all how Dr. Holly is doing some amazing, amazing things. And it wouldn't be right if I don't, I got to give my girl a proper introduction. Let me tell y'all, we've been rocking for some years now. And when I tell y'all, it's like when I think about all the folks I met, right? This woman here, this is like like one of my right hands, right? I'm like, she has been amazing. And when I look at everything she's doing, oh my God, she is the epitome of I am every woman, and I can do whatever I need to do to make this stuff happen, make this life happen. So Dr. Holly is a Philly-based award-winning screenwriter, actor, and improviser, in addition to a stand-up comic. During the day, she's a therapist, and at night, she wears a cape, saving lives through telling jokes on stage. Her stand-up material speaks to everything from hot button social issues to her being a black hockey mom. Her comedy is smart, sassy, and always politically correct. I'm gonna say politically correct, even though she say politically incorrect. But we know how she roll. Everybody, welcome to the stage, Dr. Holly. Uh oh, look, y'all see me messing up the stage, right?
Hey, so
I love
thank,
the background.
oh well, thank you. Oh, that was such a very, very warm welcome. I appreciate that. And yes, politically incorrect all the time. Although some people can agree and say no, you politically correct. So I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. Wow, this means a lot. Thank you, thank
Dr.
you,
Holly,
thank you.
Dr. Holly, you don't know, right? It's like it's only a handful of people that I will consider like that I rock with, that I'm like, they my sister friends, and I'm like, anybody come their way, I'm like, don't mess with her. Look, you see, I got my pit, don't mess with her. I come for you. Let me tell y'all, I'm so honored to have her on today because my girl right now is a world traveler and she is doing big things. And I know y'all have seen her all over social media, promoting a lot of amazing events that she has been doing. But first, we're gonna have this conversation
Okay.
about everything she is doing. Dr. Holly.
Okay.
Now, Dr. Holly, let me tell y'all, is a clinical therapist.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my girl was like, look, I always used to crack jokes as a therapist, also, right? And my joke was always, I would tell my coworkers, and all of them will attest to this and say the same thing, like that damn Tyra. Before we would start our morning and we would go in to work with our clients, because I used to do group therapy with kids, I would
Yeah.
go 1, 2, 3, and scene. Good morning, everyone. And scene. Good morning. How's everyone doing? And then when 3:30 would come, the day would end. Cut. And I'm like, look, it's 3:31. I told y'all don't fuck with me after 3:31. It's time to roll. Like
Listen.
I'm not the person that was in that room. I'm Thug Tyra at 3:31. And everybody would laugh. And so saying that to say, I am so proud of you with
Thank
the
you.
acting, stand up cop. What what inspired you to make this transition?
Um, oh my God, it's a lot. So let me try to unpack it, because I don't know how much time we got. But
Girl, I got you. Look, I don't have work until 2 o'clock. I got you for hours. Go ahead, girl.
I know that's right. So I think a lot of therapists can relate to the fact that during the pandemic, like shit was just really heavy. So if
Mhm.
you were in private practice, such as myself, and
Mhm.
you saw an uptick, or at least I did. I
Mhm.
can't speak for all private practice clinicians, but the
Mhm.
uptick was just crazy. And I had a
Mhm.
solo and a group practice. And I had kind of played around with doing comedy before, but I was
Mhm.
talking to Legina out in Houston, shout out. I was on her podcast, and she was like, "You really should go for it. Seriously. Like, I can see it happening, like you should do it." And I was like, "Okay." And so a couple months after that, I
Mhm.
started taking comedy classes, but at the same time, I enrolled in improv as well.
Mm.
And the both are types of comedy, but they're two
Mhm.
different. When you do improv, you're with a team, you're working
Mhm.
with somebody on stage, you're not just,
Mhm.
by yourself. Okay.
Mhm.
At least, a stand up, you're totally by
Right.
yourself. It ain't no team, right? It's up to
Mhm.
you to, woo the audience to make them laugh. But with improv, you're just not by yourself.
Mhm.
Um, but I've always, like, been a writer since the kids. I would say since, like, the 4th
Mhm.
grade. I keep going back to the 4th grade. It might have been earlier, later, who knows? But I just remember that far back. And so for me, stand up makes you write.
Mhm.
Improv, not so much because,
Mhm.
you're just going off, the top of your head. I also
Mhm.
write sketch comedy, and so I wrote a lot of sketches and I performed those sketches with my comedy colleague, Okudo Ajelanu. We are the Laugh Hour. And we've done that around New York. We've done it around Baltimore. We did it in Philly. And we'll be going to Orlando and doing sketch comedy improv down there. So, anyway, having combined all those things, and
Mhm.
getting back to writing, I was like, okay, stand up is just a huge way for me to reach a broader audience for now
Mhm.
on this level
Mhm.
that I'm on. And it has afforded me to just travel throughout the country. Even though I am in Philly, I do shows here, but I do more on the road than I do here, which is great because
Mhm.
where people want you, then that's where you basically got to go. So I cannot complain. I think the short time that I've been doing this, it has just been really great.
Mhm.
I didn't think that it would just propel
Mhm.
um I guess at this level so fast, because I
Mhm.
hear, like, people who've been doing it for a while and just have not, um, had the same opportunities. But I grind, you know what I mean? I'm my own agent. I hustle for everything that I got. I network my ass off, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I do this
Mhm.
shit. Yeah, I do this shit every day. Now, do I still provide therapy? Yes, but to a very, like, finite, small caseload. I
Mhm.
more work on, I think, the clinical supervision side, which you are aware of, where I
Mhm.
provide clinical supervision to people who are looking to get licensed in the states that I'm licensed in. And then
Mhm.
also public speaking, because my specialty is addictions, racial
Mhm.
trauma.
Mhm.
So, just always leaning into doing research and sharing that at national conferences throughout the
Mhm.
country. So, regardless of what happens on the artistic, community of comedy, I think I'll always be a therapist in mind, body, and spirit. I'll always contribute to the field just because um I think the field just it just means a lot to me, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
I I know some people who are like, "Oh, well, once I make it, I'm leaving that thing." I don't think that I will. I just think the capacity would shift and it would look different,
Mhm.
but
Right.
yeah, I'm just always connected to the field in some capacity.
You know what? And I love that, and it's just like, and I remember when it all got started, and you
Yeah.
were like, girl, come on, let's go. I'm like, no, you got it. Yeah, you got, look, let me tell y'all, she tried to get me to go with
I
her.
did. I
And I
did.
said, and it was so funny, because I got other backstories that I'm not going to share on here that I can tell. I will tell Holly on our next road trip. I got some stories that make her laugh. But it was just like, I told the exact words that I used to Dr. Holly when she tried to get me to go to comedy school with her was, Holly, what's for you is for you. I said, this is for you, sis. I said, I'm funny, but I'm not stand up funny. I'm in the background funny, and I can give you as many stories as you want. I can give you as many jokes as you want. I can give you whatever. I can write for you, but I'm not doing it. And I commend this. I mean, I love being on stage, but as a speaker, I
No,
could
you did
I.
say that.
Mm-hmm. Because
Yeah, you
look,
did.
I know, girl. I said, child, the first tomato I get hit with, it's gonna be a problem. And I'm like, look, how I'm gonna practice anger management and then all hell break loose? We not having
Hello.
that. And so
Hello.
I just said, well, no, we not doing this. So that's when I said, well, I said we gonna wish you well with this journey, girl. And I just
Yeah.
remember going to her comedy graduation because yes, y'all, it was a whole graduation. And it
Yeah.
just did my heart so proud to watch you deliver your jokes and deliver all of your talents and given all of you because you've given all of yourself to the clients that you see, and now it's given to your all to a whole nother audience. Not wait a minute, because I'm not gonna discredit. Let me tell y'all, Dr. Holly's a trainer too. She does a lot of mental health trainings out there as well as speaking. So she has audiences on all levels. So at the end of the day, she is what I like to call I'm gonna say therapeutic, I'm gonna say a stage triple threat. And the reason I'm calling
Okay.
you a stage triple threat,
That's the
right?
first.
Because the stage triple threat means number one, you command the stage with your therapy clients, you command the stage on the mental health spectrum, right?
Mhm.
You're on those stages, right? And now you're on the comedy stage.
Okay.
You see
Okay.
what I'm saying? So that
No, I
that
do.
in my opinion, that will consider you a stage triple threat. Now I don't see
Okay.
you up there singing, dancing, and acting. That's why I can't call you the triple threat, like that. But I will call you the stage triple threat because you're commanding these audiences and you're doing what you got to do to deliver these messages, and
Yes.
you're doing it all while healing people. You're healing people in so many different ways, and I hope you saw that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, because laughter is definitely medicine, right? It doesn't replace
Mhm.
therapy, but it can be a tool, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that people can realize like life is already like serious enough, right? Excuse me,
Mhm.
I'm sorry I didn't mute my phone, but life is already serious enough. And so I think
Mhm.
even with all the seriousness that's going on, I truly believe that we can still find a way to laugh at even all the fucked up shit that's going on. Even
How
in the
about that?
yeah, like even in the moment, because I
Mhm.
think if you find a way to like soften the blows that sometimes life can deal
Mhm.
you,
Mhm.
you're able to navigate it and management a little bit better, right?
Mhm.
And not,
Mhm.
turn to substances or different type of things that could really like take you down a
Mhm.
path in life. You know what I mean? I don't want to go too dark,
Yes.
but
Mhm.
I think laughter is that. And then just when I
Mhm.
go out and I talk to people or do the public speaking, I think for me, contributing, right? Because we all got
Mhm.
something to share and contribute, especially as therapists and as researchers. So for me,
Mhm.
I just want to contribute to the field and just share, what I know and what I study.
Mhm.
Because I think it like you said, it does save lives, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Especially in the field of substance use disorder. So
Mhm.
I'm grateful that I can navigate both spaces and just
Mhm.
be able to share, what I know and my experiences, too.
Mhm.
Having come from, a family of persons who have had, a substance use disorder and
Mhm.
other disorders such as gambling addiction, right?
Right.
So
Mhm.
more material, is coming out on that. I'm excited. You mentioned music, like I don't sing, but
Mhm.
I am thinking about maybe making a rap album. You're the second
Oh,
person to get this announcement. So, yeah, a lot of comics they do like, comedy albums.
yes.
I don't want a comedy album, just like I don't want a TED Talk, right? But that's other people's
Really?
yeah, that's other people's jam. For me, like I've always been on an unconventional path. I've always done shit like as people would describe it as maybe backwards or like um like, why didn't you do, for example, you know how somebody can go and major and then like business and specialize in
Mhm,
accounting and then their
mhm,
master's is in accounting, doctors in accounting. Like I've never just been that straight laced person that just does like everything and then it's just one thing. None of my degrees are they all four of them are totally different fields, like we talked about, right?
mhm,
But to your point, like we talked about before, you helped me realize like there are ways that I'm using them that I personally didn't conceptualize. So anyway, I said that to say like, yeah, I don't want a TED talk and I don't want a comedy album, but I may, get up in there and do some childish Gambino type shit where like, you gotta stand on special and then you got a rap album. Now, I ain't a rapper, but
So you know to
but
stay in your lane for real on that one.
yeah,
Look.
but I would try it just because I'm a writer and just to see like what comes out of it. Think
Mhm.
about think about in the 80s. Nobody imagined Eddie Murphy party all the time.
Girl, I love
Nobody.
that song. Look,
But
I
that shit
love
is
that
a bop
song.
though. Exactly. That shit is a bop. So I'm like, I'm a writer. I write some good shit. So maybe I can write a rhyme or two and then one of them turn into a
We
bop.
just gotta,
So
but we just gotta get you. We just gotta get you the right person to go along with you. You know, like he had the hottest man around, Rick James. So we need to get you the hottest person around. And I got some ideas. There's some hot people out there that would love to take the plunge.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just like I said, I'm in my own lane, I'm my own competition. I'm just having fun up out here. I'm just doing my own shit. For me,
Hmm.
going back to being a creative, to which I've always been as a kid.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is therapeutic for me as well. I'm in,
Hmm.
another chapter of my life because my children are like, basically damn near out of high school,
Hmm.
and going into, young adulthood. So it's like, shit, let's do it.
So how is that though, with being a wife and a mother? And I know that's a lot.
Yes, it is because it's several hats. Like for example, like I travel, oh God. So when the tour kicked off this year, it was from February to May.
Hmm.
And then I had some local shows in June, but they're really to me were not a part of the tour because June and July is like my kids are out of school and that's summer camp months. Those are
Okay.
helping them transition. So I
Hmm.
don't pick up any gigs. Now here and there somebody be like, okay, you can do some local or just call me last minute. I usually say yeah, especially if they local and I don't have to go
Hmm.
anywhere far.
Hmm.
So from February to May, that's
Hmm.
3 months. And then I got the rest of this year where I kick back off this month into December. So that's
Oh
8 to 12.
wow.
Yeah. So that's about a good 7 to 8 months that I do of touring.
Okay.
And so when I'm coming off the road, you
Hmm.
have to now transition back into like therapist, trainer, mommy, wife. And
Hmm.
so it is a lot because
Hmm.
you're getting off the plane and as you're, getting into your Uber, you're thinking about, okay, what's for dinner? I need to go to Walmart and grab some laundry detergent. Okay. Did I have sex this week with my husband? Wait a minute. Like
Hmm. Right.
you're thinking about
Mhm.
like all this
You got
crazy
everything.
shit.
Look, girl, that's random.
It is, but it's a part of life. You know what I mean? So you're thinking about like all these things because you have to transition and put back on these hats. And
Hmm.
but I personally wouldn't trade it because
Hmm.
I'm able to compartmentalize in a very good way and organize things. And I also know that my children, like I said, I have a son who's a senior in high school this year. My daughter's a
Oh,
sophomore.
so,
They're transitioning and I want to
yeah.
transition with them. You know what I mean? I don't believe in empty nester syndrome, but I know a lot of people who do. I feel like
Right.
if you are actively involved in things that are enriching your life, you ain't thinking about
Hmm.
them damn kids. You ain't listen. I'll call you to see how you doing. You need some money on your debit card. Okay, how's your grades? And you about your life. Like my
Hmm.
mom, I love her to pieces. Shout out to my mom.
Hmm.
Um, my mom travels a lot. She sees the world, like, she's living her best
Hmm.
life, and so I just encourage, like, any mom, like, even if you're not into comedy or acting or improv, what are you into? What are some things that you used to do as a kid that you loved, right? Maybe it was traveling. I don't know. Maybe it was collecting rocks and painting them. I don't know what it is, but I just encourage you to get into those things and engage into them. So empty nest, syndrome doesn't, try to like creep up, because I really think that's what it takes. You got to be engaged in some shit. Because if you're engaged and active, you ain't really thinking about like, oh wow, my kids aren't here. I don't got to cook dinner. I don't got to take nobody to hockey practice, or I don't know. I just don't. I don't necessarily have, like I said, a connection to that syndrome, if that makes sense.
Oh, that makes a whole lot of sense. That makes a whole lot of sense
Okay.
that you wouldn't be able to see it. I mean, that you wouldn't be able to connect to that syndrome because there's so many people that, they talk about it, but the thing is finding other things that you can do so that you
Yes.
don't have to put yourself in that
Yes.
mindset, you
Yes.
know what I mean, that you have to say, okay, now I'm a part of it.
Yes. Yes.
So I get it,
Yeah.
and I think that's what happens with a lot of people get lost within themselves because they didn't actually plan for those moments when the
Yes.
children leave.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Yep. Yep. I agree. I agree. My father, he's at retirement age, and he's like, I don't know what I would do. And so I just encourage him to kind of like take a couple of years to figure it out and just not retire yet, because statistics will show that within
Hmm.
the 5 years, people who retire, who are not active and do things, they
Hmm.
they die.
Okay.
Um, and I don't want that for him. And
Hmm.
my dad is a very good guy, but
Hmm.
if you are close to retirement, like figure out like what you can do next. Even if it's just
Hmm.
volunteering or getting up,
Hmm.
and being a greeter at Walmart. But there's so much life.
Hmm.
There's so much life to live. You know what I mean?
It
And
is. It really is.
ah, yes, yes, there's a lot of life to live.
Hmm. And it's just being able to find what you love
Yes,
to
yes,
do and just doing it. And one thing I
yes.
can say, when I look at everything that's going on with you, I see it's like when you talk about comedy, I see the piece.
Aw.
I see your piece. I don't
Yeah.
know if you see it, but I see your piece.
Well, I appreciate you allowing me to be mindful and taking a minute to pause and kind of like marinate and chew on that and gnaw on that. Cause honestly, I feel it, but I
Hmm.
never kind of like stopped and paused long enough to conceptualize it, because
Hmm.
I'm so hype and
Hmm.
I'm so active and attached to it that I
Hmm.
never even was like, damn, this is like my peaceful place, my happy place. So thank you. That's my
Hmm.
mindfulness for today.
Yep. But that's you. But I see it. I see it. I see it. And I hope you feel it too.
Yes. Now I'm gonna be super like hyper focused in a positive way
Not just
on
that
it.
hyper focus in a positive way.
Yeah, yeah, because we can be so hyper focused that sometimes we create our own anxiety or depression.
Hmm.
But this isn't that. Hyper focused in a way to say, yo, like you really out here, just doing your
Hmm.
thing your own way. And it
Hmm.
it brings you peace. It brings you joy. It brings you
Hmm.
fulfillment. And that's not to
Hmm.
say like I don't have like what the fuck
Hmm.
moments as a comedian, right? Um,
Hmm.
but I definitely would never at this moment trade it for anything, because it has just been so rewarding. As much
Hmm.
as being a therapist, it has been. It's just been very rewarding.
Mm. And that's good, because the thing is, we want it to be rewarding. The
Yes.
bottom line is when you choose a second career or something like that, right? You don't want to go in a place where you're still feeling stress.
Oh, hello, hello. Because if it feels like work, I don't want. For me, I don't want no parts of it. You know what I mean? Like, I
Hmm.
think. I think there's moments where I'm in my soft girl era because I'm an ambivert.
Hmm.
So, like, when I come off the
Hmm.
road, and even though I got to go into mom and wife mode, I still know how to recharge.
Hmm. Right.
Where, you know what I mean? Where I can take time
Hmm.
for myself to like really recruit and get my batteries together.
Hmm.
So yeah, cause like I said, I take about 4 months off, like 2 in the
Hmm.
summer,
Right.
1 and 2 in the winter, and then,
Hmm.
you know what I mean, from there, it's
Hmm.
like I do my thing. So yeah.
Right. Hmm.
Yep.
Well, that's good. So, do you have any vacations or trips planned for the next couple months? As
Um,
far as not working, not where you're not
yes.
working.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go down to Austin, at the
Okay.
end of October just to, like, chill out and eat some
Nice.
good barbecue.
Okay.
Austin is amazing. So I'm definitely gonna go down, get some good barbecue,
Hmm.
and just chill. Texas is
Yes.
definitely slower than Philly. So yeah, just relax. I don't have anything major. Maybe Florida in December, I don't know, but for right
Okay.
now, that is a vacation for me, at the end of, October. So, yeah, I'm looking forward, to that. Another way to just recharge.
Yeah, I mean, because recharging is good, because
Yes,
the thing is like when you find yourself on go mode so much, it's like, okay, I gotta find a way to take it back. And you do
yes,
everything you can to take it back.
yes,
And so it's like, woo,
yes,
I need to
yes,
breathe.
yes,
And being
exactly.
able to breathe and be okay with it.
Yes, right? Yeah, that's true. That is so
Hmm.
true. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's good. So what's next for you? What you got coming up
Um,
this month for the rest of the month and going into September?
So, I'm doing a comedy show for Go Comedy, which is an online comedy community for women.
Ooh.
So I
Oh, nice.
have a show with them on the 19th, and then I have a show. Actually, you should pop out on Thursday, August 22nd.
Hmm.
Shout out to Morgan. Morgan is a psychiatrist, and he wants to do
Mm.
a comedy slash storytelling event for therapists.
Oh, nice.
Yes, down at 2002 Ludlow at 7 PM. So if you are not seeing clients at night, pop out. If you're local to
Mhm,
Philly, South Jersey, pop out and you're a therapist. This is definitely for you. You can share, or you can just come to listen and support and network with other therapists. But he wants to start this thing where therapists
mhm,
who are creatives or who are in creative spaces to come
mhm,
out and just be able to like storytell and tell jokes. I think it's truly dope. I'm kicking it
mhm.
off, but he has different therapists that
Okay,
are like hosting and performing. So that's Thursday, August 22nd, 7 p.m., 2002 Ludlow in Philly. And then on the 23rd, I'm a part of a back to school comedy show hosted by
mhm.
Uncle Dud. That's going to be at
Okay,
Pulaski Hall on Friday. If you bring a
okay,
back Please, if you come, bring a back to school item. He has a raffle going. I think
okay.
the tickets I think are 25, but it does include your food. They have the
Oh,
menu.
nice.
Yeah, everything is on my IG as far as flyers and links to all these things. And then that following week, I go out to Detroit. I am going to be the host for T Murph at Detroit House
Okay,
of Comedy. Um,
okay.
Also on the website, shout out to T Murph. He doesn't know me, but he'll get to know me in like 2 weeks.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Yes, I'm pretty hyped about that. And then going in September is gonna be pretty busy because I have to go to Portland, Maine and perform
Oh,
there.
nice. That's a
Then
place I all believe it or not, I always want to travel there. Look,
okay. Yeah, I've never been that far up the coast, so I'm excited about that. Then I have Omaha, I
okay.
have Hawaii, I have
Oh,
South
wow.
Dakota,
Omaha.
Oakland, Orlando. So yeah, August,
Child, I
September,
need to be a
October.
part of this. I need to be a part of this crew. Look, I need to
Yeah,
be a part of the road crew. Look,
listen, I just
I love it.
Yeah, I'm grateful. I really, really am. Like I said, I hustle my ass off. I'm
Hmm.
my own agent, and these things that I'm sharing with you as far as shows and your audience are just really the fruits of my labor. You know what I mean?
This
And
is
I'm grateful
awesome.
to everybody who's like, "Hey, yes, come and perform. Hey, yes, come and do a show. Hey, yeah, come and host." And even when it's slow, I don't use that time to get down on myself. I don't use that
Right.
time to be like, "Oh, nobody wants you." I really use that time to recharge. I use that time to
Hmm.
like kind of go within. I use that time to write because I'm working on
Hmm.
TV pilots. I'm working on a short film. There's
Right.
always work that I'm doing. So if I'm not doing
Hmm.
stand up,
Hmm.
I'm working and resting and resting and working. You know what I mean?
I know
But
that's right. But as
yeah,
long as you're getting that rest in, that's
I
what's
am.
important.
Oh, yeah, I believe in self-care wholeheartedly, you know that, I'm a self-care savage, I believe in
Yes, you are.
it.
And that's your motto too. Self care savage. That's you.
Yes,
All
yes,
day,
yes,
all
ma'am.
day,
Yes,
all day.
ma'am.
This was
Yeah.
awesome.
It
Is there
was, it
anything you
was.
want to talk? Anything else you want to talk about today, Dr. Holly?
I just encourage, you know what I mean, Black women, but mainly Black women, like, yo, if you got
Hmm.
some shit that you just been putting off, just like,
Mhm.
if you listening, like, let today be a sign to be like, "Yo, Imma do it." You ain't gotta do it
Mhm.
like, throw everything to the side, but just take
Right.
a small little step and just, like, do that
Mhm.
shit because whatever it is that you got,
Mhm.
that's the gift that God gave you, and you just
Right.
you really gotta share with the world, you know what I mean? I believe that's part of your purpose in being here, so if it's, you know what I mean, designing, you know what I mean? If it's right whatever it is, like, just
Mhm.
literally step into that shit and don't be, like, afraid of what people might say or don't think because believe it or not, if Donald Trump can be president, if Donald Trump can have a fucking audience, come on now.
So can you.
Hello, hello. There's audience for everybody. For real, for
It's an
real.
audience for everybody. An audience for
Yes. It really
everybody.
yes, and everything. So, like, fuck it. And the people who love your product, your service, or whatever it is that you have to
Mhm.
offer, they will find you. Like, not everybody thinks I'm funny, and that's okay with I'm totally okay. That's totally fine.
Right.
But I do
Right.
have people who do find me funny who do support. So I just rock with
Mhm.
those folks and keep it moving.
Right. Right. I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, everybody's not for everybody, but at the end of the day, respect what I do.
Pretty much. Put some
Respect what
respect
I
on
do.
my
I know that.
name.
Right. Put the respect on her name, y'all. Put the respect on her name.
Oh
This was
god.
great. I love
Yes,
this for a
yes,
Monday afternoon. I am
yes,
so glad we was able
yes,
to come through and do this today. This is awesome, awesome,
yes.
awesome, awesome sauce. Well, Dr. Holly, I want to thank you so much for coming through with Tyra's
Thanks
Good
for having
Plan
me.
this after the. You know, you're a friend of the show. You're more than a friend of the show. You family to the show. So you can come on anytime you want. You just tell us, Tyra, I need to. You know, you more than welcome anytime you want to come through. And I
Thank
want to
you.
thank all of you for coming through and watching us this afternoon. We wish you adieu. I want you all to have an amazing week, and I will see all of y'all in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
Have an awesome one. Take care, everybody. Bye.